Hello team, welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video with myself, Jonathan MS Pearce. This is Ukraine War breaking news update for the 21st of September 2024. It's a Saturday and the Ukrainians aren't taking a day off. Of course they're not, even though I've got a football match to get to for one of my sons. It is of scant concern for these guys who have done it again. So the other day we saw Toropets, a massive ammunition depot storage facility there in the Tver region of Russia go up in smoke. More than smoke, an awful lot of fire. So imagery is now showing, as these Tochny guys have analysed, some really significant damage done by that strike. Incredible imagery. With a high level of certainty, they say 46 ECMs are visually confirmed to have been completely destroyed. 74.19% of the original total of 62 ECMs, so these bunkers, were massively destroyed. And who knows what the damage was to the others, heat damage, etc, etc. So that's what happened recently, and you remember seeing the huge explosions. 19 earthquakes of 2 to 2.8 on a Richter scale. Massive craters, huge damage. 100 drones, is the rumour, was sent at that ammunition depot. Some are saying, so the Kyiv Independent says, Ukraine's strike on Russian arms depot destroyed up to 3 months worth of ammunition, according to the Estonian military intelligence head. Ukrainian drones struck that arms depot in the Tver Oblast, destroying that much. 2 to 3 months worth of ammunition is a real challenge for the Russians, but it's happened again. Just a few nights later, it's happened again, and it's happened twice, right, in the same night. So last night, 101 aircraft-type drones were shot down over Russia. Most of the drones, 53, were destroyed over Bryansk region. Another 18 drones were shot down over the territory of Krasnodar territory. So that's where one of the ammo depots was. 16 over the waters of the Sea of Azov. 5 over the Kaluga region. 3 over the Tver, which is where the previous ammunition depot was, and the second strike last night on another depot there just down the road, and Belgorod regions. 1 each over Kursk and Smolensk, as well as over the territory of the Crimean Peninsula. Okay, that's what the Russians claim, but the reality is, who knows how many were shot down. So Russia says 101 drones were shot down overnight, and explosions have been reported at some ammunition depots. Okay, so let's go and look at these depots. There are two sites of huge explosions. We're going to go to the one up near Toropets. So this is a Tver region. This is Toropets 2, if you like, at Oktyabryatsky. The last one was some 500 kilometers plus from the border, or certainly from where the missile or the drones would be shot from. It appears that the second ammunition site in Toropets in the Tver region in Russia has been struck. NASA firms data indicates the entire facility is burning. This site is 16 kilometers, so that's 10 miles from the other Toropets ammunition storage, which got incinerated 3 days ago. I presume this is current firms data to suggest that the site is still burning a couple of days later from the original strikes in Toropets. That is speculation. I presume that's what this data is showing. And you can see that just down here is another ammunition depot that hasn't been mentioned, wasn't mentioned in any of the reporting on this one, saying, oh, incidentally, there's another depot just down here, I'd watch out. I've not seen that anywhere on the reporting. Anyways, it appears that there was another ammunition depot just down the road from that first one, and that has seen some very close attention from the Ukrainians. This is a systematic approach. Ukrainian drones struck another massive munitions arsenal in Tver region, the 23rd missile and artillery storage site located just 16 kilometers south of the 107th arsenal struck the other day, which caused earthquakes. And you can see some footage indicating massive clouds at night from those strikes. Right, let's go on. Here, the arsenal in Tver region, you can see that ammo crates are out in the open yet again. So these are not protected crates. These are not in bunkers. These are just out in the open. You hit that, that's going to all go up, and likely you'll have secondary explosions cooking off onto these other sites in all likelihood. So it's a very vulnerable site by the looks of it. Some people saying that these are S-300, S-400 air defense. Well, this is what Sarin says here. Looks like S-300 air defense missiles. I mean, I wouldn't know at all by just looking at that image, but maybe the length of these, who knows? That will be good, because these are missiles that the Russians have a lot of, and they are a menace to places like Kharkiv, where they get sent in from just over the border and do an immense amount of damage. So yeah, that's your first target that we're going to look at. The second, they talk here about it being the second one. The first one is the one we're going to look at in a second. They say this one is a bit smaller. Is the arsenal in Toropets, Tver region, that got targeted last night as well. Firms data shows that the other one was targeted the other night, as mentioned earlier. Just seeing if there's any other details about this one. Rather sadly, we do not have a lot of good quality footage of a detonation from tonight's attack in the second Toropets one. So because it's quite out in the middle of nowhere, by the looks of it, there's not all that much footage coming from people driving by and whatnot. The Staraya Toropa railway station has been evacuated in the Tver region. The evacuation of the station began about 3 o'clock in the morning after the Toropetsky district of the region was attacked by drones. As a standard response by Russian officials, all the damage was caused by debris of downed drones. As the governor of the Tver region reported, the drones were shot down in the southwest of the Tver region by the forces of the Russian Ministry of Defense. A lot of ammunition on the second Toropets ammunition depot, which was targeted tonight, was also stored in the open air, as already mentioned. But on the northern side of the depot, open air stockpiles of ammunition disappeared after the beginning of the war. So some of this satellite imagery is a little old. It might be concluded, but you can see that it's certainly vulnerable. So that's the first one. There's not a lot of footage of this, but there's some pretty resounding firms data to suggest where's it gone, to suggest that a lot of damage has been done. That is significant. If you think that this firm's data is pretty similar to the first Toropets one, and that first Toropets one was humongous, right? That is a lot of firms data there. Each of those squares is a big old burning fire, and there's a couple of really big squares there as well, and that covers about the same kind of area as that first Toropets one. So that is potentially a massive strike there just on that second Tver ammunition depot. And then we go to Krasnodar Krai. So let's try and get a sense of where that is on the map. We'll go to here first. So we're talking about the Sea of Azov. This is Crimea down here. You've got the Black Sea, comes up through under the Kerch Strait, under the Kerch Bridge over the Kerch Straits, and then into the Sea of Azov. You've got Berdyansk, you've got Mariupol, you've got Vuhledar down here, and this is where Tikhoretsk ammunition site of the 23rd GRAU arsenal is situated. Not incredibly far away, a fairly easy target, and my goodness, there are some huge explosions that have been caught on camera here. Some absolutely phenomenal footage coming from this. The sort of thing you would expect to see on like on a film, almost a nuclear blast type mushroom. Incredible. So the ammunition depot there exploded. Lots of secondary cook-offs. I mean, I can show you these in big, but I'd probably get in trouble. You can get an idea of the size of that explosion. Go and look at this on the socials. This is a significant strike, a significant explosion. Absolutely incredible footage coming from there. So Ilya Ponomarenko, the former Kyiv Independent journalist and author, writes that Russian munition depots in the Krasnodar region. This is the way Russia will be forced to stop its war on Ukraine, not with begging or thinking about saving Putin's face or giving him another chance or twisting Ukraine's arms for compromises for peace, or protecting the Russian air bases from Ukrainian attacks or surrendering to Putin's endless nuclear extortion, or with absurd exercises in escalation management or not wanting to spoil future relations with the Kremlin. This is the only way, and Ukraine is doing it right now. So there is a systematic approach to taking out the Russians' ability to prosecute this war by destroying all their ammunition. Russian ammunition depot in Tikhoretsk, Krasnodar region of Russia was destroyed tonight as a result of the Ukrainian attacks, says Special Kherson Cat. The Tikhoretsk munition storage facility was confirmed as a storage site for the North Korean munitions by the White House on October the 13th, 2023. So this is going back a year, just almost a year, and the Americans had suggested that this was where the Russians were keeping their North Korean missiles. Another epic video of North Korean munitions being demilitarized by Ukrainian drones at the Tikhoretsk ammunition depot. I mean, goodness me, the footage is just just incredible. Very detailed article about the logistics of North Korean munition to Russia, including detailed description of the transformation of Tikhoretsk ammunition storage facility into a hub for North Korean munitions, and that's by Beyond Parallel in the CSIS. So CSIS have done their own analysis of this using Maxar satellite imagery. So it's well agreed that North Korean munitions are stored there, and there is quite a lot of I mean, that's densely packed as far as I can work out. You strike that, those are all ammunition bunkers. I mean, goodness me, it's not surprising you're going to get a massive explosion like the one we have seen. So there's another video there from further away or later on showing secondary explosions constantly cooking off there. Less epic than the previous footage, but still. And then that's going on this morning. So detonation on the Tikhoretsk munition storage facility is still ongoing in the morning after last night's attack. So there's this big old blanket of acrid smoke, no doubt, coming from the facility, settling over the area, and then other mushroom clouds are happening, are erupting this morning. Air raid alert in Tikhoretsk again. Detonation of munitions is still ongoing in the morning. There you go. These sort of mushroom clouds coming up. Air raid alarm was not triggered by a new Ukrainian attack, but by the ammunition from a warehouse detonating and flying in all directions, including into the city, as shown in this video. So again, I'm not going to play that, but you got a missile that flies off and lands very close to where this person is filming from. And as they pull away, you can see an explosion just over here in the video. There you go, smoke coming up there, and that's no doubt a missile sort of landing very close to them. So this is an incredible night of success for the Ukrainians. Again, it appears, at least, initially, we can, I think, conclude that the Ukrainians have successfully destroyed a whole bunch of extra Russian ammunition. And when you've got firms data like this, you know that the Russians have had a bad night. So I think this is excellent news for the Ukrainians. This will really, 3 ammunition depots of this magnitude being destroyed so effectively, it appears, again, speculation, that it appears that this is, those explosions, they were big, and you can't, I don't think, soundly conclude that the rest of the ammunition is safe in those places and they'll just be able to haul out a bunch that wasn't blown up. It looks like there's going to be significant damage right across both of those establishments. You can but think that this is going to hurt the Russians' ability to fire missiles into Ukraine in the way that they have been. Incredibly significant strikes last night. Is this a game changer? Can we go as far as to say that the Ukrainians are certainly changing the way they're utilizing their drones? We didn't see this previously. Is this a sign that they've got new capability drones? Is this a sign that they've just got a greater capacity to fire more drones at the same targets so that they definitely get success? Something I've been calling for a long time. Instead of 5 drones at 20 locations, 100 drones at 1 location, or 50 drones at 2 locations. That, to me, it would be a sensible use of drones to really take out these targets. Anyway, I don't know what the exact number of drones fired at these locations was last night, but they've had some great success. Let me know what you think, and I'll get on with the rest of my videos. Take care, Toodle Pips.